All right, before the video starts, we're not professionals. This is all installed. So if you see us struggling throughout the video, I mean, y'all can laugh at us.
We did our best.
All right, we did our best, but like I said, this is the final install, so I'm gonna kind of go in reverse. We got everything installed. We did struggle some few times. We lost a clip or two in the process. That was kind of a short tutorial, if you want to call it.
Out with the old, in with the new.
All right, what's up everyone? This is Phantom right here. Today I got a surprise. We're installing the Mishimoto air intake. We're gonna get out this one that restricts 2-inch airflow. This one's gonna add way more airflow. We're gonna start off by removing the OEM intake, and then we'll get to the chase and start installing that one. All right, so before we start, I have all the tools all here. I have my best friend with me, he's gonna help. Mishimoto did set up all the tools you did need. I remember there's a 7mm, 8mm, 10mm, some set of Allen wrenches, I forgot which one, and then just a screwdriver. So we're gonna start by removing the clips right here that hold in this housing.
So yeah, we're still trying to remove the first part. It's been about an hour
and a half. All right, so we're gonna go ahead after we remove this housing, remove the mass airflow sensor. Just be careful when removing it; it is sensitive. Just place it off to the side. Now we can remove the actual housing, the intake housing. Start with the 10mm, and there's 2 bolts that hold it into place.
Honorable mention, the SI over there.
All right, so with the 5mm, we're gonna go ahead and remove these bolts that hold in part of the intake piping. All right, so remove this housing, just place it off to the side. And also, I went ahead and removed the mass airflow sensor from the housing. That way I wouldn't yank it off at the same time.
Where at?
It goes in this little hole right here. It's just a little push clip. Push these 2 ends and then push it back out. Now everything's out. The 2 bolts are out. The only thing holding it in is something in the bottom. It's just a quick pull.
There we go.
I fucking forgot to take out the... All right, so it does wiggle out, but it is a tight space. So you just have to
work around it.
Wiggle your way out of it too. All right, we have the whole old housing out. Go ahead and put it off to the side. Quick little... All right, and don't forget to plug the resonator cap, or resonator cap. It's a resonator housing. There's a cap provided. I'm gonna slide the cap over. Okay. So now that we have the new housing for the mass airflow sensor, go ahead and get an Allen key. We'll just remove the 2 screws provided, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove the one from here and just transfer it onto here. So we went ahead and removed the mass airflow sensor from the stock intake, placing it onto the new one. All right, so from the stock intake, remove the grommets because you're gonna reuse them. There's a total of, I believe, 3 grommets. One right here, and then I believe it was this one right here. Jeez. All right, so once the grommet is in, go ahead and put the metal bolt housing with the washer side up. And you're gonna go ahead and repeat the process for this. So with the little peg that came from the stock intake, you're gonna put it into the aftermarket one, or in this case the Mishimoto one. That way you can put it into this peg right here. There you go, seal it.
There we go.
There we go.
Now it's in.
All right, so we're gonna take the mass airflow sensor housing. There is a little lip. That's where this should go in. And then we're just gonna go ahead and take the filter, and it should house onto this piece right here. There you go. Alright, so once you have your housing in, try to direction the mass airflow sensor towards the cable. That way you don't have to struggle later on. And once you have everything in place, go ahead and add some tension. Just enough for it to hold it on its own. Alright, so we skipped the install of this part just because it was a pain. Best advice we can give to anyone installing this was, what would you say?
Just keep trying.
Just keep trying. If it doesn't work one way, try going at it from a different angle. Yeah, it was really, it's such a tight fitting.
Super annoying.
It's such a tight fitting that you gotta fight it. But once you have everything installed, before you tighten anything, try to angle out the mass airflow sensor back to where its original position. That way you don't put strain on the cable or the sensor itself. So now once we have everything tightened, we'll go ahead and tighten these clamps. This one's already tightened, and then put the 2 bolts back in.
Mishimoto up.
All right, so we just went ahead and tightened up the clamps. Made sure this clamp was tightened. Everything else is installed. We still need these 2 main screws to put back in. We also have the cover. The cover just came with 4 little screws and washers, so we'll put those back as well, and then we'll be back in a second. All right, so with the rubber, I guess, housing, if you want to call it, that came with the stock intake, you're gonna take it off and you're gonna place it on right here.
That shit just supposed to go back inside.
Alright. It's a snug fit.
Nice.
Now with the stock intake piece, just gonna make sure the fitting goes back in. And you're just gonna tighten back all your screws. Rubber housing had a little hole. That's how you know it should go towards the engine or towards the driver. This little piece is gonna go back in here. And it should be a snug fit. It should stay on its own. The other stock, I guess, covering, if you want to call it. And these should just pop back on. Just make sure they do go around all the way. There should be little clip sounding. And once they're not clipped in, you're just going to put in the, I believe, fender clips they call them, back into these 4 housings. All right, what's up, everyone? This is a completely different day. I was editing the video and I realized we missed connecting the mass airflow sensor before the last clip, but we did connect it before we turned back on the engine. I just wanted to point that out real quick, and the next few clips are going to be before and afters. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.
I'm ready, dude. Let's hear it. Go! Oh, yeah. Oh.